He never left the baby stroller, and that day, it saved a life. The moment Sarah heard Duke's growl, low, guttural, and unlike anything she'd ever heard from him before, she knew something was terribly wrong. Her golden retriever had been glued to her newborn son's stroller for weeks, refusing to leave his side even for his favorite treats. Everyone called it cute, overprotective maybe. But on that ordinary Tuesday afternoon, Duke's obsession became the only thing standing between life and death. The unusual bond. From the moment Sarah and Tom brought baby Liam home from the hospital, Duke had transformed. The once playful, energetic dog who loved chasing tennis balls and greeting every visitor with enthusiastic jumps became something else entirely, a guardian. Duke, a 4-year-old golden retriever with a coat like honey and eyes full of warmth, had always been part of the family. But when Liam arrived, wrapped in his soft blue blanket and smelling of that unmistakable newborn sweetness, something shifted in Duke's demeanor. It was as if a switch had been flipped deep within his canine instincts. The dog positioned himself beside Liam's stroller during every nap, every outing, every quiet moment. When Sarah wheeled the stroller from room to room, Duke followed like a shadow. At night, when Liam slept in his crib, Duke lay on the floor beneath it, his head resting on his paws, his ears twitching at every tiny sound. "He's obsessed," Sarah's mother had said during a visit, watching Duke refuse to come for a treat when called. "I've never seen anything like it." Tom joked about it. "We got ourselves a furry babysitter," he'd laugh, scratching Duke behind the ears. But underneath the humor, both parents felt something profound, an unspoken trust in their loyal companion. The day everything changed. It was a Tuesday afternoon in late September. The air carried that perfect autumn crispness, and Sarah had decided to take Liam for a walk around their quiet suburban neighborhood. The trees were just beginning to turn golden and crimson, and the sun filtered through the leaves in dappled patterns. Duke, of course, walked directly beside the stroller. Not ahead, not behind, right beside it, his shoulder almost touching the wheel. Ready to discover what happened next? Keep reading. But first, if you love stories about incredible animal heroes, make sure to share this with someone who needs to hear it. These moments remind us why our pets are family. Sarah had walked this route dozens of times, past the Johnsons' house with its perfectly manicured lawn, past the small park where children played on swings, past the corner store where Mr. Chen always waved from behind the counter. It was safe, familiar, home. But today was different. As they approached the intersection of Maple Street and Oak Avenue, a quiet crossing with good visibility in all directions, Sarah prepared to cross. She looked left, then right. Nothing coming. The street was empty. She stepped off the curb, beginning to push the stroller forward. That's when Duke moved. In one explosive burst of movement, the golden retriever lunged forward and clamped his jaws onto the handlebar of the stroller, pulling backward with every ounce of his 70-pound body. The sudden jerk nearly knocked Sarah off balance. "Duke, what are you—" The words died in her throat. A car came screaming around the corner, a dark sedan traveling at least 50 miles per hour in a residential zone with a 25-mile-per-hour limit. The driver's head was down, eyes clearly on a phone, completely oblivious to the world outside the windshield. The vehicle blew through the intersection exactly where Sarah and Liam would have been if Duke hadn't pulled them back. The whoosh of air from the speeding car hit Sarah's face. She felt the heat from the engine, smelled the burning rubber. It missed them by inches, maybe seconds. The car didn't even slow down. It continued down Oak Avenue and disappeared around another corner, the driver never knowing how close they had come to catastrophe. Sarah stood frozen on the curb, her hand clutching her chest, feeling her heart hammer against her ribcage. Her legs trembled. Her breath came in short, sharp gasps. Duke had released the stroller and now stood between her and the street, his body tense, his eyes still tracking the direction where the car had gone. Liam, completely oblivious in his cozy stroller, cooed softly and waved his tiny fists at nothing in particular. Understanding the bond. When Sarah finally made it home, walking slowly, carefully, checking every intersection 3 times, she collapsed on the couch and called Tom at work. "Duke saved Liam's life today," she said, her voice still shaking. "I'm not exaggerating. He saved our baby's life." She recounted every detail, every second of those terrible moments. Tom left work immediately. If this story is touching your heart, imagine how many other incredible animal stories are out there. Hit the share button and let others experience this powerful reminder of the bond between humans and their pets. That evening, after Liam was fed and sleeping peacefully, Sarah and Tom sat researching, trying to understand what had happened. They discovered that dogs, particularly breeds known for their protective instincts, can sense danger in ways humans cannot. Their hearing is exponentially better than ours. They can detect sounds at frequencies we'll never perceive and from distances that would astound us. Their sense of smell is legendary, capable of detecting chemical changes in the air and even in human bodies. Some researchers believe dogs can sense oncoming medical emergencies, detect seizures before they happen, and even smell cancer. But Duke's protective behavior went beyond just enhanced senses. There was something deeper, something that spoke to the ancient bond between dogs and humans that stretches back thousands of years. Dogs descended from wolves that chose to live alongside humans, and through that partnership, both species thrived. Over millennia, dogs became attuned to human emotions, human needs, human vulnerabilities. They learned to read our faces, interpret our tones, understand our body language better than almost any other species on Earth. When Duke saw baby Liam, he didn't just see a small human, he saw a vulnerable pack member who needed protection. His instincts, refined through countless generations, kicked into overdrive. The behavior Sarah and Tom had found endearing and slightly amusing was actually Duke taking his role as guardian with deadly seriousness. Every moment by that stroller was Duke on duty, watching, listening, processing threats that human senses might miss.
Dr. Patricia McConnell, a renowned animal behaviorist, has studied cases like Duke's for decades. In her research, she's documented hundreds of incidents where dogs performed seemingly miraculous acts of protection or rescue. Dogs are constantly reading their environment, Dr. McConnell explains in her published work. They're processing information we're completely unaware of. When a dog suddenly acts out of character, becomes aggressive, pulls their owner away from something, refuses to enter a space, we should pay attention. They're often detecting something genuinely dangerous. In Duke's case, he likely heard the speeding car before Sarah could have seen or heard it. Dogs can hear sounds from 4 times the distance humans can. He might have heard the engine's higher RPMs, detected the vehicle approaching at an unsafe speed, and calculated, in whatever way a dog's brain calculates such things, that danger was imminent. Some researchers also theorize that dogs can sense subtle changes in air pressure and movement that indicate approaching threats. Their whiskers, sensitive paw pads, and incredibly refined sensory systems make them aware of environmental changes we simply miss. But beyond the science, there's something else: love. Duke loved Liam. In whatever way a dog's heart works, in whatever emotional landscape exists in a golden retriever's mind, Duke had bonded with this baby and would protect him at any cost. Life after that day. The incident changed things for Sarah and Tom. They reported the near miss to the police, who increased patrols in the area looking for distracted drivers. They also started a neighborhood initiative about traffic safety, sharing their story at community meetings. But the biggest change was in how they saw Duke. "I always loved him," Sarah says now, 6 months after that Tuesday afternoon. "But now I look at him and I can't even put it into words. He's not just our pet. He's Liam's guardian angel with 4 legs and a wagging tail." Before you finish reading, take a moment. Do you have a pet who's shown extraordinary loyalty or intuition? Share your story in the comments, and don't forget to pass this article along to every animal lover you know. These stories need to be told. Duke still stays close to Liam. Now 8 months old, the baby has started crawling, and Duke follows him everywhere, gently nudging him away from stairs, keeping himself between Liam and anything the dog perceives as potentially dangerous. When Liam laughs, Duke's tail wags. When Liam cries, Duke looks worried, his eyes seeking out Sarah or Tom, as if to say, "The small human needs you." Tom built Duke a special bed that sits right next to Liam's crib. Every night, after everyone else is asleep, Duke takes his position, still on duty, still protecting, still loving with every fiber of his being. The greater message. Duke's story is remarkable, but it's not unique. Across the world, every single day, dogs are protecting their families, alerting them to dangers, providing comfort in difficult times, and offering unconditional love that asks for nothing in return except kindness and care. These animals, who we sometimes take for granted, who we might forget to walk or spend time with when we're busy, who we might overlook in the chaos of daily life, they're watching over us with dedication that borders on sacred. The relationship between humans and dogs is one of the most successful partnerships in the history of life on Earth. We provided them with food and shelter. They provided us with protection, companionship, and loyalty. That ancient bargain still holds true today, in suburban neighborhoods and city apartments, on farms and in small homes. When you look at your dog today, remember, you're not just looking at a pet. You're looking at a guardian who would protect you without hesitation, a friend who loves you without condition, a family member who asks only for your love in return. Duke didn't save Liam because he was trained to do so. He saved Liam because that's what family does. Final thoughts. That Tuesday in September could have been the worst day of Sarah and Tom's life. Instead, it became the day they truly understood what they had in Duke, not just a golden retriever, not just a family pet, but a hero with a wagging tail. Liam will grow up with Duke by his side. One day, Sarah and Tom will tell him the story of how his dog saved his life before he was old enough to remember. They'll show him the photos of Duke lying beside his stroller, ever watchful, ever faithful. And maybe, just maybe, Liam will grow up understanding that the animals in our lives aren't just pets. They're angels in fur coats, guardians with wet noses, protectors who never clock out, never take a day off, never stop loving us. If this story moved you, don't let it end here. Share it with everyone you know. Post it, send it, talk about it. Stories like Duke's remind us of the incredible bond we share with our animals and why they deserve our best care and love. And if you have a pet at home, give them an extra hug tonight. They're protecting you in ways you might never fully know. Duke still never leaves the stroller. And that's exactly how Sarah wants it.